Today I want to talk about the AAP01C, which is considered a sort of follow-up or even upgrade. Not so sure about that, but anyways, it's a sort of new version based off the older one, which we all know. So without further ado, let's get into it. We have, of course, the box, plain box, like we're used to. If you already know Action Army with their AAP01s, just a brown box with their logo, their website, what you should or shouldn't do with a replica, and of course the all-important sticker saying which product it is. In this case, the AAP01C in black. It's only available in black for the time being. The older one, or the AAP01, which started it all, was also available in tan or dark earth, or FDE, forest dark earth. And that's pretty much it. At the sides we have more of their logo, in case you didn't know what Action Army stood for. Again, on the other side, on this side, website on the back. The website on the back again with a QR code in case you can't read letters. So there we go, that's about it. Pretty plain brown box. So let's open it up without further ado. Not much in there. We have our two important papers. We have the testing sheet, a manual, and the replica and magazine. Let's look into these papers first. So basically what this is an energy test report. So they fire about 10 shots. You can see here where they marked, I think, where they marked the out peaks, so the maximum peaking of the replica in terms of joule. And they do about 10 with 0.2 grams. It's always done with 0.2 grams. Green gas. They even state the temperature, the type of chrono, and where it's been done. And even made official with a nice little stamp there. So you can see it does not exceed 1 joule at all. The maximum is about 92. Yeah, that's it. Terminator, what the hell is that? Okay. And the manual, which is in this case, which is not so, which is quite rare actually, is a decent manual for the type of replica. You can see it is the exact same replica. Read before use, safety instructions. So it has a nice saying which is which on the replica. It states how to release the magazine, how to open up the replica, how to separate the parts, how to adjust the hop-up through the little window, how to take it apart, how to operate the safety, how to adjust the slider for the fire settings from semi to full automatic. How to, which one is this? Setting magazine. So how to fill the magazine. Which one is this? How to fire the replica. The replacement of the safety button, the replacement of the magazine release button. And this one, oh, that's the same. And a parts list. And then a guarantee that it does not exceed 1 joules. So actually quite a nice manual. Now the part which is the most important, the replica. I'll put the magazine here. So that's pretty much all there is in the box. This is why I think of it as the egg box, because it has this insert. So here we have it, the AAP01C. So, or also known as the Shinobi, which you can see is etched here in the grip. Now Shinobi, I googled it a bit. it either means the one who conceals himself or the one who sneaks, because they mark this as the ultimate sidearm for the assassin. I'm not sure, but it's a nice touch that it's etched on the grip. So we'll just go over the replica and then I'll point out the differences with the other one. So as already stated, it is a more compact version of the AAP01, so it's shortened down. We'll just start at the front and work our way around. So at the front we have this nice formed flash hider with our nice orange fiber optic on it. Captures the light nicely. I mean, I've not seen that many, but it really does the job well. It's sadly, which is one of the downsides of this one, it doesn't have the capability to mount a silencer or a tracer out of the box. You have to buy a different part for that. So that's a bit of a sad thing for me, because the other one did have that right out of the box. But what I do like is the fact that it has an integrated Picatinny rail. So with the older one, you had to always buy separate parts. In this one, it is included. So it is nicely formed. And it's decent length. So good enough to get a little flashlight on there, so not too bad. As we go further back, we have another rail on top, so again a nice touch. The older one didn't have that, so I really like that, and it's a decent length, so that's not bad as well. As we move on to the back, we have another set of fiber optic sights. Very nice greenly illuminated, and if you line it up with the orange one, I'm not sure if the camera can get this. It gives a very nice sight picture. So no complaints there. And it's also held on with 2 screws, which also this sight, if you don't know it yet, serves up as a sort of how do you call it, placeholder for the blowback unit. So without the sight, there would be nothing holding the blowback unit in, so it would go out but it wouldn't come back, so your blowback unit would just wander off in the distance the first time you use it. So that's another function of the sight, not just to aim. We'll look at the blowback unit. So as you can tell, it is a fixed upper, so none of this moves. The only part that moves is the back part, or the blowback unit. Now the difference with this one, with this model and the old one, is the fact that for the old one you had to open it up and flip a switch here, and I can show you because so this is the older version, and you had to flip the switch. It says it's not visible, but there is a denotation on it for which setting you want, semi or full. It's not visible, but you have to trust me. So semi, full, you go. But you have to pull it out each time. I know that sounds dubious, but you have to trust me. Not sure why I didn't go back in. So with this one, they said you had to go aftermarket, so you could put aftermarket parts on the old one, and then you could also change it from the outside without having to pull the blowback unit out and adjust it. They found that tedious, so they said, well, we'll put an outside switch on it so you can just adjust it from side to side without having to pull it out each time. But I tried it a few times and I just can't get it to switch. It's quite... I don't... Okay, maybe I just have poor... Okay, that's my nails gone. Is it an upgrade? I mean, I've had an aftermarket adjustment for the old one, and that was super easy. Now, maybe they've done this intentionally so it doesn't switch too easily. Maybe if you brush up against something. But I have to say, is it really an upgrade? Because it is it is quite tough. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's already mold here from adjusting it. And that's just from, I've not fielded it yet or used it at all. This is just out of the box and trying to switch it a few times, and you can see it's a bit mangled here. So it works. Now, you're not going to switch 100 times back and forth, but I don't really consider it an upgrade. I mean, you're just as fast or even faster just with the old system, but maybe you don't mind, but I don't know. This is not really my kind of thing, but there you go. And it has the Action Army logo on it. Ooh, fancy. And it's slightly different. No, just about the same color. Okay. You can actually see on the outside, the whole system has been, that's the workings to make this work. So you can see the difference with this one. Yeah. So there you go. So that's our blowback unit. We'll now go to the lower part, and this is our first safety. So this is, as you can see, I can try as much as I want. It won't fire. And if I now push now, it will fire. You can actually tell, you see the little red color here? That's how you can determine it's able to fire. It's hard to tell, but that's saying that it's live. So if you push it in and you don't see it, because the other side doesn't have it at all, that means that it is not going to fire. The other safety is if I have to put it on, I have to put this safety off first. So now it's live, but if I only push the larger one or don't engage it properly, then nothing happens. You have to, well, it's a sort of smaller trigger. I don't know if you can actually see it, but it's a sort of protrusion. So if you push it in, the protrusion goes inside the trigger, and then you can engage the trigger. But if you don't, then the protrusion blocks against the housing and you can't fire. So you have to engage like this. Now, with the old one, I never had the issue. Do you hear that? So I never had the issue of it fouling against the housing, because I'm trying to press it properly, but sometimes it fouls against the housing. Is that just me? I'm not sure, but I never had it with the previous older ones. So, but for me it won't matter, because I'm changing out the trigger anyway, but we're judging the replica as it is, so it kind of bothers me. Maybe I'm not just doing it properly, but I just wanted to point it out. Well, if you keep it depressed like that, then it's probably just me, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So that seems to turn out fine, but as I just said, I'd rather point it out. Then we have our, well, in another pistol it would be the slide catch, but for this is just to, in this one it just keeps the blowback unit open. So when it's empty, it will just stay open. So as you can see, the mag is empty. There's no BBs in it. There's no gas in it. So when it stays open, and now it's closed. So And that's pretty much it. Last thing on here is our mag release, which, if I do recall correctly, fix the replacement. Okay, yeah. You can switch it from the other side. So that's a good thing. You can put the mag release on the other side if you're left-handed. As I showed you, it's in the manual how to do it. So I won't do it with the unboxing, of course, but I might try it myself because it seems to be gone. It used to catch here, I think something with the molding, but as you can tell, a little bit, but it seems to be gone. So that was one of my complaints, but it seems to like rub itself away as you use it. So that was one of my concerns, but it seems to be gone. So okay. Apart from that, that's pretty much it. So we with the lower, I actually have the other version to show you. So this is the older style. So we have this opening here, which I really don't know what that was about, but it really annoyed me. But it was a pretty good grip. Okay, don't mind the trigger, that's not stock. This one's been modified a bit, but this is good for comparison. As you can see, they changed this bit and the back. So this is all now one solid piece, and they diamond the back as well. But the front, as you can see, I'll hold it like this, is the same. And you can also see that it is literally the same lower. Now, if you don't believe me, so I'll go right ahead to this. So this is the button to separate it. So you just, the easiest thing is to cock it and then open it up. And then you lever it to about here, and then it just separates. Now to prove, see? Literally the same. So they didn't actually change the lower, they just changed it visually. But here's your proof. So there you go. So now that we have this open, we can look, but because it was difficult to show this while it was inside the replica. So here we have our, I'm not sure if you can see this, these two little wheels here. So that's our hop up, and that, I'm trying to, yeah, it's not, ooh, but it's a bit loose. It's a bit loose. It's not as confirmed rotation, stiff confirmed rotation as the old one. It's actually pretty loose. So that's not really reassuring, but that's how you adjust the hop. It's very difficult to show. You can see the wheels here. Let me just orientate here. So here is the adjustment wheel. It's this one, the top one, not the bottom one. That's your adjustment wheel. So that's, let's see, I just have to check. So here, this holds on your barrel and hop-up unit. Those are those two screws, and this one is for the front unit, I think. Let me just check. because it's a bit different from the old one, so I'd rather check than say something wrong. Turn the screws to remove the outer barrel and the front side. Place the front side and insert the outer barrel into upper receiver. Install and remove outer barrel and front side. So this is the front side. Okay, this is, I'll have to try and verify this, but it's a bit different. The manual is not very clear. You can remove the front side, we know that. Those are the screws for the hop. But what the hell does this one do? Turn the screws to remove the outer barrel and the front side. Place the front side on the outer barrel and insert the outer barrel into the upper receiver. Okay, this is a bit over-explained, but I'll be sure to put it in the description because this is a bit different from the old one. But you can see you can remove the upper front side as well, and you can open it up, take it out with this one. I'll verify what these two screws are, but that's not really important for the unboxing, thankfully. Here we have our nozzle. So now you can see how it works. So, oops, sorry. So yeah, there we go. And here we have the nice hooks that catch on here. So that's how this system holds on. Now that we have the inside, you can see how the safety works. So that's that. And apart from that, it is, I thought I was holding the wrong one. So apart from the hammer being changed, you can actually see that internally it is also the same. So there's no difference. Well, this one's been worn, but you know what I mean. You can see that they didn't change anything on the inside. So it's literally the same on the inside as well, as I just said. On the top, it is pretty much the same, but they had to change it around here because it's a lot shorter. But that is pretty much all there is to it. That is the AAP01 Shinobi. Now for the mag, it is about 23 rounds, green gas based, Glock. It's of the Glock type, so this whole lower is sort of Glock based. Maybe if you've owned a Glock, you'll see the similarities, but this one's Glock based. Now, thankfully, there's a whole aftermarket family of parts to upgrade these. Now, as far as if you want to maintain this upper, I'm not sure how stuff will fit. So I can only say with confidence on the old AAP01 that everything will fit. With this one, I'm not sure. I think the blowback units should be about the same size. I'll let you know, but I don't really see any difference there. But yeah, it's mainly the lower, at least the lower is fully upgradable, as you can see. But with the upper, because you have the shorter barrel and the orientated setup, that I'm not really sure. In order to fill the magazine, the easiest thing to do is to pull. There's a pull tab here, and then you slide this off, and then you can gas, as they mention in the manual. how to gas up your magazine. Holding the bottle upside down and the magazine like that. And if you hear very faintly, you can hear it fill up, and just stop until you hear no noise. And then to put it on, you just slide it until it stops. You pull the tab down again, and then the bottom plate is on. You put it in, and then it will fire. Make sure you got the right setting. That's not on full or on semi. That don't have one or the other. But there you go. So now it won't stand up on itself. The last comparison I had was to show you the difference between the old one. So basically, it is not really that much shorter. I'll hold it like this so it's more, to call it very much compact. It's barely like I got a meter right here. Let's see, about roughly 5 centimeters shorter. So you shouldn't really do it for that, and for the price either. This one sets you back about 89. Well, it's 90. Let's not fool ourselves. And the older one is also 90. So you shouldn't do it for the price. It is purely for personal preference. Now, I have to admit, I did hear a lot of complaints about people, but so far, apart from what I said with the trigger, which might be my fault, and the blowback unit, which I don't really feel that was successful, and also the mold part here, it's just not, the old one feels better. That's just, I'll put it together so you can get an idea. I just like this one more. You have the integrated threads to put on the tracer or silencer. It's just out of the box. I just prefer it more than the AAP01C, but you should just buy. This never works on video. Whoops. Always be careful because it's plastic. You want to just, okay. So yeah, it's purely down to preference, but I mean, it looks amazing. I have to say that they really nailed it with the design and the redesign of the lower. But for me, the AAP01, the one that came before, is just better in my eyes. I honestly don't see why you would want to buy this one, but I'm not saying you shouldn't buy it as well, but I'm just being honest that I just don't see it being a preferred choice over this one. So if someone asks me, I prefer the classic one. That's the one I would endorse without hesitation, completely. It's just, for me, it's better. This one has a lot of question marks on some of the things. So, but I will test it out and see if there is anything else I can find out about it. But for me, it's just, I just prefer the older one. I even got the test sheet of the older one so I can see. There's barely any difference. So that goes to show you what that the difference is negligible. Even the test sheets barely have any difference in them. You can see here and here there is barely any difference at all. So you don't have to worry about loss of performance for the if you want to go with the AAP01C. So that's pretty much it for the unboxing. I know it's been a bit long, but I always like to provide that one detail that someone might have missed. This one will be, in my case, will be used for my project. If you've seen the other videos on my channel, I bought a TTI Scorpion, and this one will be used for that if I don't find any mistakes along the way that would jeopardize the project, but then I'll still have all of the other parts I have lying about. So yeah, I mean, I get it, it's nice, but is it an upgrade? No, it's not. It's far from an upgrade from the original. It's just slightly different, but it's far from an upgrade. But they cost the same, so there's no really any loss in it. But for me, I'm not going to really endorse it. I prefer the classic one, as I said 3 or 4 times, but that's because I have a problem with thinking, so I repeat myself a lot. So, so yeah, this is the AAP01C. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Maybe one more thing I might do is, in case someone, because for some people the weight is important, so let's weigh it. So without a mag it is 416 grams, and if we put the mag in, 699, and the mag on itself 283. So there you go. I can't weigh the old one because not all of the parts are in it, but there you go. And lengthwise, I forgot my tape measure. Oh, here it is. It's about 18.5 centimeters long. So there you go. And the other one was, the older one as reference is 23. So there you go. Maybe that will provide you with a bit more information should you need it. But that's been pretty much it. I will put up another video of me testing it. Okay. Always make sure it's not cocked. I'll put up another video of me testing it and just going through the paces. Besides that, oh, I forgot one more important thing. I do apologize. They come out of the box, but they might be on the shelf for what, like 5 months or even longer, depending on when you buy one or where. So it is very important to make sure you lubricate it. I know you can't see it, it's completely dry. So if you start to use it now like this, you're just rubbing metal on metal. So do get some lubrication and just with your finger like this, and then it will seep in between the parts and that will lubricate it. And you basically, as I said, take the side out, pull this off, this comes out, and then you lubricate the inside of where this moves, and the bolt itself, you put it all back together, and then you can safely use it as a preliminary lubrication, because if you just start to use it like this, then you'll just get excessive wear. So it's not really a big deal. Either you ask your store to do it or you do it yourself. So yeah, that's it. That's the AAP01C. The video about the other one is also on my channel in case you want to see it. If you have any questions or remarks about your experience with the AAP01C, or you want to correct me on something, I'm all up for it. No one's perfect. I try to do my best, but you always forget something. So feel free to contact me either here or on Instagram, which has the same name, so you should be able to find me pretty quick. And apart from that, depending on when you're watching, I wish you a good evening or day. And if you're already subscribed, I want to thank you for your support. That keeps me going, knowing that there are people out that appreciate what I do. So I really want to thank you for that. And that's pretty much it. So take care and all the best.